Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. Right, you're getting a bonus third video this week. How lucky. I could have just made this the first video of next week, but in terms of what I want to talk about next week, this video would not fit in there, so I've decided to give you a bonus third video on Sunday. And as you can see from the title, we're talking about the fact that Pokimane, one of the most famous Twitch streamers in the world, has become a VTuber. Now, what is a VTuber? Well, a VTuber is basically someone who instead of showing their face on stream, what they do instead is they basically have like an anime girl avatar on the bottom right or bottom left corner of the screen instead of their face. That's basically how it works. I mean, if I was a VTuber, I'd try and get someone to make me a model of Coolest. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, VTubers are people that basically put anime girl avatars on their streams instead of showing their own face. Which, it started off as quite a small community, but has grown in the last few years. It has grown, especially now. And this week, Pokimane announced that she was going to basically become her VTuber avatar for when she doesn't want to use her face on stream. And this caused a lot of controversy, didn't it? Now what I want to do with this video is look at both arguments, the people that are supporting this and the people that are not supporting this. Look at both arguments and look at how both of these arguments do have valid points. Is there anything necessarily wrong with Pokimane being a VTuber? No, not really. I mean, as long as she's not doing anything bad by being a VTuber, which I don't think she will, then it should be fine. But this did cause a lot of controversy. I mean, you'll have people like Connor going, "Yo, leave her alone." I'm sorry, I had to say, I could not make a video talking about Pokimane without me saying that. Me and Connor has been saying that quite a lot, and now he's got me, and now I've started saying it a lot because of it. So I think we'll look at the people that don't support her first. We'll look at their side of the argument, and we'll look at what points of the argument are actually valid, because both sides of this argument have valid points. As most of the time, that's what I do. Whenever I'm talking about an argument, I normally look at both sides. Obviously, I haven't always done that. You should be able to figure out what I'm referring to by that I haven't always looked at both sides of the story, but I haven't always had both sides of the story. So, the people who don't support Pokimane debuting her VTuber avatar are basically saying things such as she's only doing this for attention, even though she's one of the most famous subscribed Twitch streamers already. She's one of the biggest Twitch streamers there is, so she doesn't really need the attention. She's doing it because it's trendy to be a VTuber right now, so that she's hopping on the trend. And she's only doing this because she can see As you can see, it'll gain her more views and attention and money. Now, one of the arguments that I think really does make a good point is the one where everyone's calling her a hypocrite, because if you remember earlier this year, the YouTuber It's a Gundam basically has his avatar on the screen in his videos rather than his actual face when he's talking about things, right? And basically, he made a video on Pokimane this year, basically making fun of her tier 3 subs. Like, the subs that genuinely think if they basically sell their kidney to Pokimane, she'll go out with them, despite she already has a boyfriend. But the T3 subs just don't want to believe that. But yeah, Pokimane simps are pretty cringe. I think we all know that. And It's a Gundam basically made fun of spent an entire video making fun of them. Not her. Her simps. She watched the video on stream and basically tried to take away It's a Gundam's sponsors. And H3H3 had tried to do the same thing with Keemstar, not much earlier and quite close before that. So it sparked a bit of an outrage there. It's like, oh no, so everyone's trying to create a take away your sponsors war. And basically she did. Pokimane actually got one of It's a Gundam's new sponsors taken away from him because she told her simps to go and attack It's a Gundam. But now she is now debuting her own avatar so she doesn't have to show her face, when that's exactly what she made it fun of It's a Gundam for doing. So yeah, she is a bit of a hypocrite there, how she's basically saying that she's making fun of It's a Gundam for using an avatar instead of showing his face, but now she's literally going to be doing the same exact thing. So I get that argument is very valid because it makes sense. Of course, the next argument is she's only doing it because it's a trend. She's jumping on the trend. I mean, I guess you could say that, because if VTubers weren't becoming more popular right now, would she be doing this? Probably not. You'll always get big people, like big mainstream people, coming into a smaller market in a smaller niche community, and everyone that's already part of that community instantly thinks, oh, they're here to come and ruin everything. I mean, Pokimane becoming a VTuber could benefit the VTuber community. If that does happen, then maybe they should be thanking her, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. Because, I mean, you know that VTubers are becoming more popular. I've just started going down my rabbit hole of watching them myself. My favourite VTubers at the moment are Iron Mouse and Nianas. And Pokimane is, like, let's be honest, Pokimane is bigger than the whole VTuber community combined, isn't she? And we're a weird bunch of anime fans. We're a weird bunch of people, aren't we? Because we want what we like to become more popular, but we don't want it to become too popular. What I mean by that is, think about it. Dragon Ball is one of the most popular anime of all time. The mainstream media and the Western and mainstream media get a hold of it. Dragon Ball Evolution was created, the worst Dragon Ball movie of all time. Of course, it's a live action movie of Dragon Ball. Of course, it's going to be bad. But the point is that the mainstream media, it gets popular enough to where the mainstream media get a hold of it, they ruin it. Same with the 2017 Netflix Death Note movie. Remember that? Death Note, of course, came out finished about 10 years earlier than that movie was released back in 2007. Death Note, still one of my favourite animes of all time now. Actually, I watched Death Note around when that movie came out, funnily enough. That's when I first watched it. And Death Note gets popular enough, big media a big company like Netflix gets a hold of it, ruins it. So I do understand the argument of people wanting it to become popular, but not too popular to where people who are not part of the community come in and then completely ruin everything about it. Because that's exactly what has happened before, more than one occasion as well. But a lot of people were supportive of Pokimane doing this, and now we'll look at their arguments. So the first argument is Pokimane becoming a VTuber is a good thing because it could help out the VTuber community a great deal and make its popularity go even further, make it even better. Which could very well happen, but people are worried that Pokimane is never going to collaborate with a VTuber. She's only going to become one, but then stay away from the community and basically do her own thing. And what if a lot of the VTuber community's viewers then go to her? That's what a lot of VTubers are worried about. But we have other actual VTubers supporting Pokimane in this. Iron Mouse being one of them. She was very supportive of Pokimane doing this. And this very well could be a good thing. VTubers could be getting more recognition thanks to Pokimane, which, I mean, she'd be getting attention, and in a good way for once, compared to what she's been getting for a lot of this year. Although Pokimane comes back from her break and Leafy gets banned on Twitch on the same day, it is suspicious. Of course, doesn't mean that these things are definitely linked. It just feels like too much of a coincidence. It just feels like it's too perfect to be a coincidence. But it probably is. Just think about it. If Pokimane actually collabs with other with VTubers, that could skyrocket the VTuber community. I mean, a lot of people are calling the VTubers who don't want this happening a super toxic community. But the difference there being is all the popular VTubers now built their channels up from nothing. They built their VTuber channels up from nothing. They built this persona and the character that's on the screen in place of the real life person voicing them. They built those characters up from nothing. Pokimane is already more famous than every VTuber combined. She doesn't need to do this. But if she wants to, that's fine, she can. It's not really that big of a deal, but of course there is always the worry that when someone who isn't part of a small niche, smaller community comes into it, they could take it over and basically turn it into something that it's not. I think the main worry VTubers have, the ones that are worried about this about Pokimane doing this, they're worried. I think their main worry is if Pokimane does this and it ends up being a success, more people who are not VTubers are going to become VTubers, and suddenly what it means to be a VTuber, the whole point of being a VTuber ends up being kind of lost, because all the VTubers that started out as VTubers or were never known on the internet in real life, like who they were in real life to begin with. The whole meaning of being a VTuber, some people not knowing who you are in real life, people only knowing you from this persona, and then people that are known who they are in real life, just becoming VTubers because Pokimane did. Personally, I think Pokimane doing this isn't really a big issue. I understand the worries of the VTuber community, but I also understand that this could very well be a good thing as well. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't go sending any hate to Pokimane or any VTubers, because I'm not the type of person that wants the people on my side to go and attack other people. I've had that done to me, but I've never been the one to do that to someone else. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed, especially for a third video of the week. Next week's videos, as I said before, I'm very excited to be making. I can't wait to make them, because they're both pretty big deals in my opinion for me. But until then, catch you later.